I was sitting in my home pondering what is the origin of evil. This actually led me down a rabbit hole to finding the origin of Lucifer, Satan, and the devil, which are actually three different characters. Once I went down this rabbit hole of research, which took me several days, I found out the origin of each being. So today's video is about the origin of Lucifer. And the next video will be about the origin of Satan, and the video after that will be about the origin of the devil. Now, Lucifer in the original Hebrew actually means Hallel, H-E-Y-L-E-L. This means the morning star. Now, the only reference to Lucifer is actually in Isaiah 14:12, where Isaiah is talking about a Babylonian king, not a fallen angel. Now, when he uses the word Hallel, it's to insult the king, but it's a tricky insult because it follows a compliment. So typically when you call something a morning star, you're praising it for being amazing, because typically stars shine at night. But a star that shines in the morning is absolutely spectacular. But here's the thing back then, right? Nomadic barbarian Hebrews didn't know that the morning star that they see is actually the planet Venus. So, that's why this reference is kind of like binary and limited, according to the author. So, as he's talking shit about this Babylonian king and how lofty and powerful and amazing he was, he's talking about how the Babylonian king fell. Oh, how you were a morning star. And so, the word Lucifer is actually not the name of a being or a fallen angel, but it just means morning star or Venus. And so I had to do even deeper research to find out, well, who made up this story about a fallen angel from heaven starting a war with God? Now, you got to keep in mind, the story, the main reference also is in Revelation. But here's the thing about Revelation. It wasn't written by John the Apostle, who was in the presence of Jesus Christ. It was written by John of Patmos, a student of Gnosticism or Christianity. And, he had a vision, decided to write it down into a book, coin it with the name John as if it was connected to the John Apostle, and then the book got popularity. Because if he would have just wrote John of Patmos, then it would have just been another gospel written by somebody who is Christian or Gnostic. And so, even though he wrote that vision down, it's still not quite relative to how Lucifer became a person, because John of Patmos was actually following a tradition that precedes him. So as I got deeper down the rabbit hole to find out who created the story, it led me to finding out about Saint Origen. O-R-I-G-E-N. Saint Origen existed from 185 to 253 AD. He was a Christian theologian. He created the idea that there was a war in heaven and that a fallen angel decided to start war with God, or hell of the Bible, whatever. Now, this idea, this theological idea, got spread, and is essentially really theological propaganda. Along with Saint Tertullian, they decided to spread this theological propaganda. Saint Tertullian, by the way, existed from 155 to 240 AD, and he helped spread this propaganda. So by 347 AD, Saint Jerome comes into the picture. He existed from 347 AD to 420 AD. And he converted the word Hallel, which means morning star, into Lucifer. So this is why essentially Lucifer is just a synonym for morning star. Now, St. Jerome just thought it would be clever. Lucifer is a cool way to call the morning star. So then comes in Gregory the Great. He is a pope. He existed from 540 to 604 AD. He then combines the idea of the fallen angel story with the word Lucifer, converts the lowercase l Lucifer into a capital case L Lucifer, and then makes it seem like Lucifer is a character. So every time the Bible gets translated, it gets changed. So the Bible has layers and layers of lies and mistranslations. Other Christian theologians and churches and pastors have ran with this idea and spread this story, which is essentially misinformation. This story is essentially a 1700-year-old lie that nobody has debunked, because everyone believes in the Bible and hardly anyone is reading it. And unfortunately, the few people who we think are reliable reading and translating the Bible are distorting it and adding layers and layers of lies and misinformation. So here's the thing. I'm not totally angry with Greek Christian theologians for mistranslating the Bible, because I understand that the soul is seeking God. You're looking for God and not finding him in the Bible. So you're creating stories and adding those stories to the Bible. I give you an A for effort, but it's still misinformation. So the story of Lucifer as a fallen angel is a myth created from the imagination of Christian theologians. That is the origin of Lucifer, essentially. You can let that story go now. I don't want to attach any esoteric knowledge in the occult and the New Age and Lucifer represents the light. It's nonsense. You know what esoteric knowledge means? It means that I do occult and magic, and I just create stories from nothing in order to explain the magic that I do. It's still incorrect. You can let go of the lie. What has happened is you were lied to since you were a child, and those lies were reinforced into you by your friends, family, and your pastor. That's why you haven't let go of those lies. Everyone is practicing a religion. Nobody's auditing the religion. You believe the Bible is the word of God, yet you never took the time to actually read the book for yourself to get your own interpretation, which is all these people have done. I would bet even right now, we could get the best interpretation of the Bible due to all the technology, researches, and the science that we have. We have anthropology, archaeology, astrology, cosmology, physics, metaphysics, quantum physics. We have everything we need to understand the Bible fully. Those people back then, the Greek Christians and the other people who mistranslated the Bible, they didn't have all those resources. So that's why every time they mistranslated it, they added layers and layers of misinformation. So let us live in truth and love and by the words of Yeshua the Messiah, instead of by the distortions and the mistranslations of Christian theologians who added layers of lies unintentionally. So, yeah, that's the story. That's the origin of Lucifer. Let go of that lie. It's a myth. It's nonsense. It was completely made up. You can grow up now. It's okay. All right. So stay tuned for the next video. Origin of Satan is coming up. And live, laugh, love, meditate, read, listen, study, practice semen retention. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Forgive. And as always, seek God and become the best version of yourself. Peace.